Hey, welcome back to the BeFree Project podcast. As always, I am so grateful that you are here for another week. I'm excited to share another interview with a wonderful member inside the BeFree Inner Circle. Her name is Latania Franklin, and we are going to have a great conversation today about her experience inside the community. Latania, welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
I'm so excited to chat with you. And so I was looking at my notes before the call because I like to give an idea of how long each member has been inside the community. And you joined June of 2018.
Wow.
And that's crazy, like 3
Ooh,
years ago.
yeah.
Like you were one of the first members that joined because I opened it June of 2018, like 3 years ago. So you were like
hmm
in that first cohort, if you will, of women who joined
hmm
the community. So first of all, thank you for trusting me. And I didn't even realize it had been so long until I pulled the data or what have you. So I want to start off by you sharing some of your wins that you've experienced over the last 3 years just by being a member of the BeFree Inner Circle.
Yes. So, ooh, wait, I can remember 2018. It was a year. But some of my wins, I think my biggest win is open my business.
Yeah.
Making that decision. I think I entered the circle just to have other women to talk to that had the same thought process as mine. And so to get to the point of opening my business, another win is I am really close now to one of the members.
Yeah.
So we almost talk every day.
Yay.
I had a conversation about I don't know, my husband was like, oh, y'all sound so cute. I was like, do you want to be my friend? I was like, I do want to be your friend.
I love it.
So like cultivating that new relationship, we're of course like any new relationship, figuring out, asking questions, and trying to make sure we're creating a safe space, starting my business, and I will honestly say some of the resources. So Reiki was really the real first time I heard about it was in the circle. And so to have like a direct contact with Denise through you, I was so excited. And so like using crystals and just like spirituality. So I would say those are my three biggest wins from joining the circle.
So I'm over here taking notes because I'm like, you ain't sharing all the things. Because I'm like, and it's so interesting, like how I know things about every single member because I really pay attention. But you got married, right?
Oh.
Hello, September 25th is your anniversary.
I get so if you want more of like what, oh my goodness, in these 3 years it's been a lot. So yeah, so we're besides those three, got married, had a friend breakup within that time, had a friend, like had two friend breakups and then one friend makeup. Out loud. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yep.
Maybe more comfortable with just like being myself and talking and just because a lot of times you'll reaffirm like nope, like take up all the space that you need. So I think I talk a lot more just through writing, but also speaking of writing, through talking and writing, but the opportunity you gave me, even though like I kind of shied away from it, but that actually gave me confidence in writing because I'll like go back to like even the one or two that I wrote in the circle. It's like, oh, I'm not that bad. She posted it. So being okay, you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. About my house in the circle. So I posted a lot about just that process. And now really the process I'm going through right now is like the boundaries of my family and figuring that whole thing out.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. So I remember even with the writing, like I loved what you wrote, and I remember there was some stuff around that based on what a professor has said to you back in school. So even having the courage to share in the community, I know that that's not easy. And one of the things that I'm pushing more is like, I want people to take leadership roles. Like, yes, I've curated and cultivated it for you guys, but like, this is your space to like share and blossom and grow and do all of the things. And one of the things that and I talk about this a lot during our weekly live chats, like, one of the things that I admire most about you is your vulnerability. Like, you'll get in there, you'll share your heart, and you're very transparent. And oftentimes, before I'm even able to get in there and respond, so many ladies have already sent you so much love and encouragement. And just by you sharing, it has opened the doors, if you will, of other women feeling comfortable to be vulnerable as well. Because it's not easy, right? Depending on your family structure and your culture and how you grew up, 9 times out of 10, Black women don't always feel comfortable around other Black women. We can be guarded, like, oh, I don't know how she's going to be. But I say this over and over and over again. I created this positive little bubble where it is no judgment, there's no negativity, there's no negative energy whatsoever. It's nothing but beautiful, positive energy of support from Black, or I would say women of color, right? And so I appreciate that. And then another thing that I want to point out that you didn't mention, but even shifting your mindset, because I remember early on we had a call and one of the words you kept using was you were struggling with whatever the thing was at the time. And I don't hear you say that anymore. Like, so even shifting your mindset around even shifting your mindset about the words that you use. Like, you have done an amazing job at like speaking life over yourself and shifting your mindset and being vulnerable and transparent in the community. So I just wanted to point that out because you didn't mention those wins, but those are great wins.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. You're welcome. And so going back 3 years, I know that's a long time ago, but not necessarily a long time. How did you know you needed support with doing the work? Like, how did you know?
Ooh, man, 2018. That's like many people hold up the X because 2018, I was working as a school social worker. And I had a group of women at that time. But the women that I was around was centered around the school. You ever have like when you're working at a job, like that's your friends at that job?
Your work friends.
Right. So and so it was just I just had them. Like it was right. Me and my best friend I grew up with, we weren't talking at the time. And my other friend, she was okay, but not on the same like wavelength or like journey as I was on. And so I had these group of friends, but it just wasn't enough. Like one of them reminded me so much of my sister, and I was like that's too close. And I felt myself like just needing a space to talk. Or like needing advice from women that may have either been in a journey longer than me or that was literally older than me. And so I came into contact. I want to say I started listening to your podcast and probably like a year before that, 2017.
Okay.
Yeah. So I started listening to your podcast then. And I can remember having moments in the car listening and like crying or just like, I need something. Like, I don't know what it is, but I need something. But this, whatever this is, this ain't working. And just not feeling good. And so he said that was the summer of 2018. Work was really difficult. Was not feeling supported. A lot of trauma. I think that was the same year. One of my students had like experienced suicide, and it was so much. It was so much. And I just, again, I needed a space. Like my husband, I could talk to him, of course, but I needed women. And so listening to your podcast, when I saw that you was that you had this circle, I was like, I should try it. I was like, I ain't never spent money on nothing like this. I was like, well, but it's not that much. And back then, I'm balling now, but I was balling like corporate balling. I could do it. Yep. And so I joined, and I want to say for a while, I probably didn't say anything.
And just observe.
There. Yeah, I was just there, which is kind of my personality. I want to scope out the scene first. But I think I was just really, really searching for just like a group of women. And I even think I've tried while in the circle to create little circles within Chicago. I think right when the circle started, I tried to start a book club,
Oh,
but that
yeah.
didn't work. I tried to start like a group for just like social work, women in social work and as therapists, just to have a space to talk. And that didn't work because our schedules are all over the place. And so BeFree was like the only, like I was like, this got to be it. So yeah, so that's essentially why I joined. I needed a safe space to kind of talk and just have support from other
Yeah.
women. I come from a background of you can't have friends. You can't have women friends. That's not they messy, they blah,
Yep.
all of that stuff. And so I knew I just wanted something different.
Yeah, I love that. And I've heard that too. Like, and I shut it down every single time I hear a woman say about how women can be this or that, because I don't
Mm-hmm.
experience that in my personal life. Like, I have the most amazing friends ever. And then, so much so is why I put an emphasis on the BeFree Inner Circle, where no, this is a place where you can find your forever friends and, of course, do your
Mm-hmm.
inner work. And it's so true. Like, there's so many women inside the community who have, like yourself, who have built real friendships with women that live in
Mm-hmm.
other states, right? And they
Mm-hmm.
connected through the community. And I know you have even met up with a couple of ladies inside the community, whether
Mm-hmm.
they traveled to where you were at or what have you. And that just goes to show you, like, yes, women can gather together, specifically women of color. They can make real friendships. Like, all of the negative stuff that gets repeated
Mm-hmm.
over and over and over again, that's not true for everyone. It's not true in my life, right? And it's
No.
definitely not true about the community. And then another thing that you said, like how when you first joined, you observed and was trying to figure it out. That's what a lot of women do. Because this is what I understand, right? You listen to the podcast, someone will follow me on Instagram, they may come to an in-person event. You trust me because you're like, oh, I like what she's talking about. Okay, she got a
Mm-hmm.
vibe. I'm going to give her my money. I'm going to invest in what she's offering. Then I'm saying, oh, but when you get in the community, I want you to trust all these other women too. And you like, hold up, like, yo, I don't even know them, right? And so I get that it takes time to like observe and make sure that what
Mm-hmm.
I am saying is true. But once the women get in there, they're like, oh, what magical place am I at? Like, where does this
Mm-hmm.
even exist? And so many women just pretty much observe the community to get a feel for it. And I have one woman in particular, she's been in the community forever. She's an extreme introvert. You won't know who she is because she doesn't really engage inside the community. But if she ever have a question, she will email me. But what she does is she reads the post in there, she watches the replays, but that's how she consumes the information. And it's like,
Yeah.
I love that it's so self-paced that you get to basically get in where you fit in. Like, there's no pressure to be a certain kind of way. So I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what would you say made you choose the BeFree Inner Circle? And I ask this question because there's so many communities, there's other memberships and all that jazz. Like, how did you know the BeFree Inner Circle was your place to do your inner work?
I would really say from your podcast and just listen to them and the way they made me feel. I am a it's so funny the way trauma works because as I'm talking, I can hear like people in like just like, but you're emotional. But anyway, I'm a feelings person, and if something makes me feel good, I am going to follow it. And so listen to the podcast made me feel good. Being seeing your things on social media because I think so. I've been following you for a long time because I noticed that I still had your Facebook page.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So like looking at your Facebook page, looking at your Instagram page, it just always made me feel good. And like you have energy, like like positive energy that's just like coming off of you. I remember this one, I can't remember when you said it, but it was around your birthday. You was like, I'm turning 40, like I'm just letting everything go. And so I got to think, I was like, well, I just need to get through these 30s there because if all healing got happened in 30s, I need to make it to 40 so I can relax. Because this is a lot. And so just like I think you've always helped me to feel good about the future. Like, okay, so like if I can Like, okay, I want to get, like, not mimicking, but like, okay, if this is how she feels and she's done X, Y, and Z, I know it's possible. So fuck that. Like, I'm about to change something because
That
this
part.
ain't, again, this isn't life. So I need to
Yeah.
figure out what mine is that will make me feel as good as she feel, or just as comfortable in your skin as you are in your skin. Like, I can
Mhm.
do the same thing. So like modeling, I think you did a lot of modeling for me, to be honest.
Mm, that's so good. And one of the things that I say often is I really want to take women on the journey. Like, this work is not easy work. And I
Mm-mm.
remember being in my 30s, like, why is no one talking about these things that are on my
Mm-hmm.
mind? Why, where are the communities? Where's the conversations being had? And so a lot of my journey in the beginning was very lonely. It was literally just me, myself, and I reading the
Mm-hmm.
books, listening to podcasts, watching videos on YouTube, like, okay. And I just kept taking steps forward. And now
Mm-hmm.
that I'm in this space, the most beautiful space where I'm so free in my life, I'm like, I gotta tell more women. Like, I need
Mm-hmm.
y'all to get this. And so everything that comes out of my mouth is very authentic. I'm gonna be as transparent as I can with you ladies about, okay, this is a journey. And there is something, and I need to do a podcast about this. There is something about turning 40. I'm telling you, it's like a whole
Mm-hmm.
wake-up call. And I've shared this inside the community. It's like you start looking at your life and you're like, what did I sign up for this? What is this? I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm in this, and even now, like, I'm in this space of looking at every area, and I'm like, do I want this? Do I want this? Do I want to do
Yeah.
this? Do I want to do that? And trusting myself enough to know that every decision that I make for me is the right decision, and I get to make mistakes along the way. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that you can see me as a model, if you will, of how I am being transparent and vulnerable with sharing all my stuff. And then you can see that and say, oh, she's someone that I can see her positive energy. I can see her light. This is a great example for me as I'm on this journey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, like the most recent example was with the price of the meetup tickets.
Oh, yes.
Because I came in 2019. And so I'm,
Yes.
so I'm like, oh, it will be the
Yes.
same price. And I saw the price, I was like, okay.
Right. Right.
So I sat for a second and I sat there and I was like, I don't know, like, can I buy it? Like, is it a good thing? Should I be spending this much right now? I'm not, like, I just jumped into private practice. And I don't know, I sat there reflecting on it and I was like, hell no, because I just went to Target last week and I spent $73. And I don't even know what the hell is that.
Ooh, that'll preach. That'll preach, Latanya. Ooh,
I
that's
was like,
good.
so that's one. And two, I was like, no, like, and this is literally what I said. I was sitting here, I was like, like, sis know her worth and I'm gonna pay for it. It was literally it. And so I bought the ticket. And so then my friend was so I told my friend the price. I told her the price that was back in 2019. And she and I was like, oh girl, actually they cost this much.
Right.
And she sent me a voice memo. She was like, I was like, okay, I understand, but hear me out. And so I
Yeah.
explained like my thought process, and she didn't answer for a couple hours. And then she responded. She was like, damn, you're right. She was like, no, you're right. She know her worth, and why not? Why not? She know the just why not? I'm gonna buy a ticket too. And the same thing happened for the Reiki session. I told her the price, and she was like, girl, like, what do you got me doing? And I was like,
Yes.
hear me out.
I love
Listen to
it.
this. She was
Yes.
like, oh, like, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. And the same thought process. Like, I've been spending money on X, Y, and Z. Why not invest in myself? And she was like,
Mm.
nope, I'll do it too.
I love
So
that. And you
yeah.
know what's so powerful, because you were here in 2019 and the price doubled. I don't even know what the price was back in 2019, but I know, because I don't know which, I can't remember. I think you came in the winter or the fall or something like
Yeah,
that.
it was in September. No, it was in November.
Okay, so at that point, I don't know what my ticket price was, but I know for this one, like, I'm like, oh, I'm doubling what it is, because to your point, I know my worth and I know the value that I bring to the table. And when I made that decision, I was talking with a great friend and she says, Siobhan, you bring so much value. Like, what is the issue? What is the problem? I'm like, I know, but this is what I was charging before. She said, it doesn't matter. you know who you are. And so I'm so glad to have you as an example that and this is the thing, you traveling from Chicago, I'm in Cleveland, right? So making that investment in yourself, number one, to travel from one state to the next, and then say, oh, I went before and it was this price, but now it's this price, but yet knowing we can easily drop $100 at Target. And you're like, what is going on? I told my daughter this week, and Target is 5 minutes from me. I said, I ain't going back to Target no more this week. I'm tired. I don't need nothing from them. Yep. Nothing. But that goes to show you, again, you've been in the community since 2018, and you have so much fruit that you, or seed, fruit that you have harvested just from being in the community. And you know the work because you've been working with me for 3 years, right? And then to be able to convince a stranger to me, a friend of yours, like, oh, girl, just trust me. So I do not take that lightly. Like, I am very grateful, and you're going to have an amazing time. Like, I'm so excited. I'm like, can September come quick enough? Like, I am ready. And then I just announced the one for October, and I'm really, really excited. So thank you for saying that. That means a lot to me, because prices, it ain't easy for an entrepreneur. Like, this work is not easy, but knowing your worth and knowing what you bring to the table. And I understand, I say this all the time, the words that come out of my mouth are life-changing. And I've seen so many women like yourself who I've shared something, I've taught them something, and if they put in the work, I can see the fruit of it. And I'm like, how do you even charge for that? Like, I should be charging thousands of dollars for these lives that are being changed. But okay, I will leave that for another day. My next question is, what's your favorite feature about the BeFree Inner Circle? And that's, for example, like our weekly live chats, daily inspirational quotes, community support, our teams, the directory, or guest speakers. What would you say is your favorite feature?
My favorite feature is the live chats. Because even I found that even in those moments where, and which is another reason why I decided to go ahead and come to this meetup, is like, even if the topic is something I feel like I am totally fine in, I can still get something out of it. Yes. The topic of friendship, like, I feel like I'm solid in friendships right now, but what you're saying, in my opinion, can be applied to all relationships, not just, I mean, we want to feel the same way. Yep. So every time you say friendship, I was telling Sandra, so every time you say friendship, my head said family relationships, and it still worked out. Like, it's still the same thing. So I think those live chats, because regardless of what the topic is, regardless of what the topic is, I still get something, and it's no pressure for me to say anything. As a therapist, I like, it's like a pressure, like, okay, like, what do you like, what's next? Like, you got all this knowledge, like, leave me alone. I don't want to talk. Like, can I just soak it in and not be the person? And it's a space where I could just soak in. And then when you ask me questions, I could be honest about how I'm feeling in that moment. So I really love the live chat, and also learning from the other women. I take notes on what they're saying too.
And I have 2 therapists in the group, and I never put pressure on y'all. And it's a great opportunity, like, hey, but I will never, because and I say this all the time, it is a community for you to let your hair down. You work all day. The last thing you want to do is get in the community and work. You're like, no. So I'm grateful that you feel comfortable with just showing up and being. And I remember there was one live show up for you live chat where you weren't going to come, and you have posted in the group, I'm not coming. I forgot, you maybe having an emotional moment, but you came anyway. And because you shared what you did, I think 3 other women who had no intention on coming, they ended up coming that night just because you shared. And that is the power, number one, of accountability, the power of community, and then just being around a circle of women that, even if I don't have anything to share, or even if I'm not feeling my best, I know I need to be sitting here just so I can absorb the energy from the other women in the group. And I see that happen all the time, Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember that one too.
That was a good one. That was really good. So what would you say, what's one reason you feel other women need to join the BeFree Inner Circle?
My mission for like my work and just like overall, I think as women, but especially as women of color, like, we need safe spaces. We need them. It's not a lot. Like, we talked about, like, just not even as a therapist, but as just like a woman, a Black woman, like, we gotta talk the most. We gotta be the most and solving everybody's problems. And to have a space where you can just be, I think it's needed.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can be your full self. You can talk about what you want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
You can release when you need to. You can get support when you need it. You can provide support when you want to. It's not like somebody Wayne likes to say something good to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hell for that day. If you want to skip a post, you can.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So just having a safe space to be honestly your full self. And work on the things that you want to. I think it's hard doing the work alone, especially if you're in a space where you are literally the only one. And I can say for me, it starts to feel like I shouldn't be doing it, or I'm doing something wrong, or like trying to look at all my Oprah videos because I'm like, Oprah gotta like tell me something, girl.
Yes. 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 Yes.
uh, I it just it's a good space. It's a good space to get the information. I think that we're all yearning for, but don't necessarily know where to get it at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And I also think that it is not easy doing this work. I said that before,
Mm-mm.
and it's definitely not easy doing it on your own. And even if you connect with one person in the group or many people, at least you know that you're not alone. Because it's easy to
Mm-hmm.
quit, right? Like you can just say, oh, I'm working on working out or whatever your thing is. But then if you don't have accountability, you don't have support, it's easy to give up. And I love, like, even in the
Mm-hmm.
community, you created another community in the community where y'all
Mm-hmm.
are working out together. And I'm like, that is
Mm-hmm.
so, are y'all using your Fitbits or something like that?
We no, we're just on group me because we
Oh,
was doing
okay.
text messages, and
Yeah.
that was no, it was I can't work an iPhone for my life, and I
Mhm.
couldn't add people, so we moved it to group me. But it's a lot of us now, and so we did
Good.
juicing together. Um, so yeah, we talk about working out. People post videos and like inspirational stuff. We all say good morning. So it's actually really, really nice.
I love that. And I don't even know who in it. All I know, it was a post one day that went, and I'm like, oh, good. A community inside a community. Let's get it. I have no idea and don't even care to know. I just love that you and whoever else is in there in your group me, y'all are working together to stay healthy. So I
Mhm.
just think it's just the most beautiful community in the world. And I'm not just saying it because it's mine, but it literally is. Like, I don't know of any other place like it. So my final
Mhm.
question for you is, what would you say to the
Yeah.
woman who says, I can't afford the BeFree Inner Circle?
First thought that came up was our Target conversation. It was like skip one trip to Target,
Mm-hmm,
and that could be your membership, yes,
mm-hmm,
membership per month.
mm-hmm.
Um, but it's honestly like all jokes aside, it's an investment in you. We invest in Starbucks. We invest in Target. We invest in McDonald's for our kids. We invest in the movie theater. Why not invest in yourself and making sure that you are grounded and that you feel good?
Yeah. That is perfect. I don't need to say nothing else. I mean, perfecto. I am so grateful that you took time out of your schedule today to sit with me and have this conversation. Any final words you want to say before we log off?
Um, join, and it's join and try it out. That's
Yeah.
the only thing you can do is try it out. Try it out for a month. Save up some coins
Mm-hmm.
and join for 1 month. I know it's probably going to be a lot of stuff around, which I love this time of year when we hit the fall and like vision boards and all
Oh,
of that. Even
yes.
if you just join for a point in time just to see how it is, do it and see how you like it. You
Yeah.
might just stay.
Yeah, exactly. And look at you. You are three
Mm-hmm.
years in. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously it's been amazing for you. And one of the things as I'm continuing to have conversations with, because I was having a conversation with one member in particular, and she was saying how she had been in the community for a few years. And I'm like, it hit me. I'm like, the women who have been in the community for a year or more are the women who I'm seeing the most growth. And that gave me the idea to have these conversations because I'm like, huh, if you've been in the community for a year or more, then your commitment to doing the work looks very different than someone who just joined, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the longer that you're in there and you're getting the teaching and you're building the relationships, the more tools you have to keep going. And so my thought process is, yes, a month is great, 3 months is great, that's amazing, but I would love for women to commit for a year. Like, give it a year and see how much can change. And the years go by so fast. Look at you, 3 years in. Like, and who knew, right? The time goes by like really, really, really fast. And so I'm grateful, so grateful again that you took time to share your experience inside the BeFree Inner Circle. It means so much to me. And I will see you in a couple of weeks. I'm excited about giving you a great big old hug. And thank you again for making space today. I appreciate it. And until next time.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. And until next time, girl, be free.